Hello, Momet. Welcome to the season finale, episode 6 of Greymantle, the Doomtrain arc. This season started with our heroes knocking over the seemingly impregnable Doomtrain and the chaos in the aftermath that has followed that choice that they made. But before we get to that, I am Eric Scott DeBee, the DM of this campaign. I also DM Path Arcana, which is going to have its season finale on the 21st. I think that's the day that we decided. Next week, there's going to be a cool new thing coming up, so don't miss out on that. You'll see some announcements. If you want to learn more about upcoming stuff, go check out our Discord. You can also find me online. I write, I DM stuff, I GM stuff, I do game design. You could find me just by putting my name into the Google. And with that, take it away, Allie.
Googly Google. All right.
Googly Google.
Hi, everybody. I am Alexandra Pitchford, or Allie for short. I am a writer, game designer, and TTRPG streamer who does a lot of different stuff. I've written for Vampire the Masquerade and Shadowrun and things like that. But at the moment, let me tell you about one of our sponsors because we love doing that. We love our sponsors because they are very helpful. We have today Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, as ever, which is a strategy game that unites iconic Dungeons and Dragons characters from novels, campaigns, and popular shows into one epic adventure, including Frida, Havilar, and Mehen from the Brimstone Angels novels. The game's available for PC and Mac on Steam and web, Epic Games Store, Google Play, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, iPad, iPhone, and on all Android devices. Please check them out. There's probably some kind of seasonal event running right now. They're always giving away lots of great stuff during those events. So for more information, please do check out idlechampions.com. And now,
Amanda.
yes.
Hi, I'm Amanda Cherry. I'm an author of contemporary and historical urban fantasy, TTRPGs, and the occasional award-winning screenplay. You can find me online at Amanda the Ginger. That is Twitter, TikTok, and now Blue Sky, when I remember that exists. Tiny little plug, Eric and I will be reading this weekend noon Pacific time in the Right Hive conference. So you want to come hear us do a little silly duet reading from our book that came out last November, sequel due out this year. That is some fun that you can come have. There it is. Eric's got a copy right there. I need to find mine because I can't get access to the Google Doc we wrote it in anymore because I'm that bad with technology. Tonight I will be playing Anji, who is a bright pink tiefling, thirsty bard of largely useless in combat. So cheers to her maybe surviving the night. I usually bring wine to this game. Tonight I brought scotch. Forda, that's you.
Yep, sorry, I'm just processing that. Hi, I'm Forda. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Coffee at FordaVare. No dash in between. Other places with the dash, except for Tumblr and Insta, where I'm LexArts with 2 X's.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, so when last we left our anti-heroes, they were in Dayside, but it does not much resemble Dayside at the moment because there is an eclipse going on. The only light in the sky is the light of the gray between Dayside and Nightside, which resembles kind of like an aurora borealis, perhaps. But the colors are more silvery and gray rather than green like this. Unfortunately, that's some ways away, and there's a zombie horde between you and it. So this is the poem I wrote for this session. I don't really think that it's fair for me to say that I wrote this. I just took it from something, and I think I'll be very clear. Even in these chains, you can't stop me. Even in these chains, you can't stop me. Even in these chains, you won't break me. Even in these chains, you won't stop me. Even in these chains, you won't be me. And that is, of course, the beast that's bound inside Sounder. So when we start today's session, Sounder, stop shaking your head at me. Sounder, you are looking over Tarant in the safe house. Oriana has gone out to try and find your friends. You stayed behind to make sure that Tarant was okay. He's not exactly one of your companions, but you felt maybe a little bit responsible to at least make sure that he survives and has a fighting chance of getting home. And as you are staying there and brewing up potions, writing things in your journal, researching, the light is dimming. And at one point, you look out the window and realize that there is a moon creeping across the sun. Now, you had not seen the moon here in Dayside. You didn't even know Dayside had a moon. All you saw was the sun all the time. And you felt at peace because of the sun. Like there was something edifying and relaxing about it. But now that it's going away, you have this growing unease inside you. Like it feels like when you're angry or when you're anxious, when you're hungry, the more the darkness settles upon Dayside, the more the respite of the sunlight goes away, the more you have this feeling until eventually you just need to get out. You need to get out of here. You need to find fresh air. You need to do something.
Sounds about right.
Tarant kind of stirs and murmurs something. He's going to be okay, though. You're pretty sure he's just going to wake up. He was just sleep venomed. He's going to be fine. You need to get out of here.
Went from just kind of starting off with the research and writing, and then just kind of that growing, maybe I'm hungry, maybe I need a snack, to pacing, to absolutely starts heading for the door, because like that just gritting of teeth, like face hurts, everything hurts actually now that getting towards the door, just like I need some fresh air. It's this Dayside. It's definitely this Dayside business. Tired of it.
Okay. Yep. You're out in the hallway. There's another person who is standing in the hallway, and they look over at you, and their face kind of like, and then they're just no longer there. Just disappear.
Weird, but not something to worry about. Not right now. Going outside. Outside is where I need to be.
All right. Yep. You head downstairs. You see that there are people holed up in the inn that you were stashing Tarant in and making your safe house. They look over at you. They also look terrified for a second, and then they also disappear. Just vanish as though they were never there. There's a barricade against the door, which is blocking your path.
Who put this here? Just starts trying to push it aside and get at the door.
The barricade disappears.
Yeah. I almost imagine she fumbles with the door at the moment, just because I don't know. It's
you fumble with the door disappears.
Door disappears.
And you see a square full of people. They're just standing around talking, laughing, having a right jolly good time. You see your companions, in fact. You see Sparrow, and who's standing very near you. She looks surprised to see you. You see Anji and Oriana across the square. They look concerned. What are you gonna do?
I think she just kind of like rubs her face and is like, I don't know what's happening. Some kind of eclipse or something. Trying
So
to explain.
your hand feels very rough against your face.
Fuck.
And when you look at it, you realize that it's not a hand, it's a paw of thick, calloused flesh and dark brown, black fur surrounding your talons.
And of course, the sensible thing to do is to sniff your own hand, which is absolutely what she does. Like, what is that?
Oh, your hand smells very tangy and delicious. Like it's covered in delicious sauce. Human sauce. Blood.
Sauce.
Human
Human sauce.
Internal human sauce.
What are we if not sacks of sauce?
It tastes metallic, iron, and death. And you look at your other hand, you realize that it's also a claw, and you realize that your entire body has become this massive, muscular, furred thing.
And I think there's this dim awareness in her mind of, hang on, why is there blood on my hands?
Don't worry about it, comes the answering thought.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Just tiniest little hint of fear in the back of her mind, but it's like, you know what? I don't think I will worry about it. And you know what? I don't think I like that this whole crowd of people is just kind of standing around laughing.
So
what in the world are they laughing about?
You gonna head out into the crowd?
More or less.
Okay, people start disappearing.
The attempt to explain has been abandoned. Just like, I don't even know what to do with that. So yeah.
All right. So for everyone else, a werewolf bursts out of the front door of the tavern. The door goes flying off its hinges, looks at its paws, kind of quizzically, howls at the eclipsed sun, and then tears into the crowd of zombies in the square.
Well, I'm not inclined to stop that. Like, okay.
Like, I almost imagined that as she was trying to explain to Sparrow, like, this werewolf definitely kind of sniffed at you. You know, kind of rumbled something unintelligible.
Mm-hmm.
And then went into the crowd, like, ah.
And the werewolf is just tearing zombies apart, just like throwing them aside in multiple pieces, biting them in half. That it's gore fest in the middle of the square.
Yeah, I think at that point Sparrow will kind of like lean out and try to catch the attention of the group on the other side and just be like go around.
I mean, there are still a lot of zombies, but Oriana sees an opportunity. She looks at Anji and she says, "Okay, follow me." And then she starts eldritch blasting and burning handsing her way through the zombie horde. Anji, do you have a thing that you want to do, or are you just sticking close to her?
I like the staying behind her and ducking and creeping until someplace with fewer or perhaps zero zombies
Okay.
would be ideal. So
yep, the zombies keep clawing and grasping at you, but you manage to push your way through because you're behind this, scything death machine that's just burning a path through the zombies.
Yeah, can I from the other side, can I find an angle to start getting off my own shots? Try to like shoot my own eldritch blasts into the massive zombies.
I'm gonna need Allie to make a couple attack rolls, please.
Yeah.
And obviously, if one of them gets their hands on me, truly, the one thing I am actually capable of is hellish rebuke. So if anyone like tears my dress, fouls my hat, like they're in for like the one actual bit of violence I can do, which is don't mess up my clothes, friends.
Wow. That's a 24 on the first one.
Okay. Yeah. So you hit a zombie.
Okay. You want me to roll damage on these or just roll the
No,
roll
not
the attack?
necessarily. It's just the number of successes that you're getting.
Ooh. And then a crit on the second one.
All right. So
25.
you did explode one of the zombies. Like
Just
you fired a
yeah.
particularly good blast, which blew one
Yeah.
apart.
Yeah, just a concentrated blast of shadow energy that just like the thing like I'm just imagining it disintegrating into like
Yes,
little shadowy motes.
exactly. A zombie does get its hand on Anji's leg, kind of pulling her down. You want to invoke your counter there?
Oh
Is
yeah.
that okay? Fire erupts over the creature. I rolled a saving throw. It did not make it. How much damage does that do? A
That
lot of
does
damage.
3d10, so let me roll that just for
Yeah.
the heck of it.
Just because this is a specific zombie.
Yes.
Gasp.
It only did 9 damage, but still.
That's okay. That zombie erupts in flames. You managed to pull your way out of its grasp.
I also
Okay,
make a rude gesture in its direction as I walk away.
great. The werewolf is just tearing through these zombies. And Sounder, you see your friends making their way through this crowd, just shoving people out of the way. And as this is happening, you see like flashes of these people turning into some kind of terrible monsters, like their flesh rotted away and their hands reduced to like claws, and some of them like their heads are hanging partly off and they have holes in their bodies and entrails spilling out. And then it will flash back to them just being a normal crowd of people that your friends are just rudely shoving their way through.
There's like the briefest pause of the carnage, trying to just shake some semblance of, sense into herself, if that makes sense.
Go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Flat. No advantage or disadvantage, just flat.
Just a flat save.
Okay. No, that's a 9.
Okay. You're trying to focus, but it's really hard. The people are all kind of like putting their hands on you, like trying to pat you and make you calm down. And you're shoving them aside. And sometimes they're disappearing, and sometimes you see bodies or pieces of bodies flying away from you. Okay.
What?
Sparrow. So you see that the werewolf pauses in the carnage, kind of shakes its head, blood flies in every direction, and then howls up at the moon again. You see that the moon has started to move past the sun, so the eclipse is ending gradually. What would you like to do? There are zombies now coming toward you.
Well, all right. If there's zombies coming toward me, I'll have, I'll take out my rapier and I've exhausted what little spells I had other than my Eldritch Blast. So I will how close are they? Am I gonna need to like start
Yeah,
fending
they're
them
like
off?
in melee with you.
Okay, so I'll just start stabbing then. Like
Okay. Make
I'll start
make an attack roll, please.
use my rapier. Okay, 16. That's not awful.
Okay. Yeah, you start skewering zombies. They're not especially susceptible to being skewered. You know, when you're fighting a living foe, if you stab them through a vital organ or the heart, they will tend to stop. Zombies, no, they just keep coming. In fact, when you stab them, it makes it easier for them to get to you because they can just slide along your sword and grab you. So yeah, you're doing a lot of like furious footwork to stay out of the way of the zombies. And as a reminder, these are not slow moving zombies. These are fast 28 days later zombies. They are coming at you fast, clawing at you,
Great.
moaning, roaring, etc.
Great.
Okay.
Great.
Anji, Oriana goes to cast another Burning Hands, and just a few flickers of flame come out of her fingertips. Her magic seems to be exhausted. She pulls out her rod, which is the demonic looking thing. I think you've seen the rod before, but it's very
today, yeah.
Yeah, it's very strikingly fiendish looking. And she starts concentrating, and magic starts shrouding around her hand, which is when a zombie knocks the rod out of her hand. It goes skittering under several more members of the horde. And then the zombies just start mobbing her and shoving her down onto the ground. You seem to have a brief respite before they grab at you. What would you like to do?
Oh, that's okay. Part of me wants to go after the rod, but part of me really just wants to like get into the building. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go try to get the rod back.
Okay. There are numerous zombies in the way.
That's true, but the only way I can actually do them any harm is if they do me some harm first. So
Okay. Do you have a
listen, you would
weapon
think this
of
is
some
gonna
kind?
no, I absolutely don't. I have a drumstick. Like I know. You would think
Okay.
this would teach me to roll up characters who aren't like useless in combat, but I am sure I've learned nothing from this.
No, that's totally fine.
But I can go that way because if they hurt me, I can hurt them back.
Let me ask you this question. As a bard, you know that you can give inspiration to people, bardic inspiration.
Yes. Okay.
Are you going to do that?
Yeah. Oriana can have some of that for sure.
Okay. So you start singing, or what does your music sound like? You don't have to sing for us unless you want to.
No, that's quite all right.
Amanda happens to be a professional singer. I'm just pointing that out.
Yeah, no. It's very much percussive. I've used before the cup song from Pitch Perfect as an idea. It's just very like sweet and girlish and poppy, and there's like the tapping of shoes and snapping of fingers, like all sorts of percussion sounds to it, but there'll be a little light humming and a lot of rhythmic things. It's gonna sound like a scene from Stomp.
As soon as you start singing like that, first of all, you give Oriana inspiration, which is good because she pulls out that dagger, that very black bladed dagger with the diamond at the pommel, and just starts slashing at the zombies, trying to get them away from her. And so the inspiration helps her do that a little bit better. But the other thing that happens when you start singing is the werewolf perks up. Sounder, you hear the most beautiful music that you have ever heard filtering across the square from your friend. In fact, you see that it is Anji making this music.
Tries again to like shake some sense into herself, because I think as realizing, oh, hey, there's Anji, she's singing. If I've noticed that my friends are making their way through the crowd, it's like, Anji, Sparrow, where's Ori?
You don't see Ori anymore. You hear that other voice at the back of your head going, "Oh, no. Make a charisma saving throw now."
in the middle of this charisma saving throw. Just no, what? That's a 19.
No, I won't go back. You are able to control yourself a little bit. At least enough to point yourself in a particular direction.
Okay.
The music seems to have kind of distracted this other entity inside you.
I was telling you to go anywhere, but what's going on? Just kind of start sniffing around because, like, you know, being in a shifted form is not entirely foreign to her. Just maybe this particular shifted form.
Yeah.
Just trying to catch, Ori's scent because, like, I mean, I see 2 of them. Where's the last one?
So your vision at this point becomes more often the crowd of zombies and your friends desperately fighting for their lives, and less the kind of like deceptive people standing around being happy vision. No, it's very strange because now when you see the world like that, everyone seems to be two-dimensional cutouts, like literally boards cut to resemble people that you just kind of like knock over.
That's weird. That'll be something to figure out later. Starts just kind of shoving monsters / cutouts aside, like, get out of here. Shoot.
I do have a question.
Yes.
Did Sparrow see Ori go down?
Make a perception check, please.
All right, that's gonna be a thing.
Sounder is going to start heading toward Anji.
Oh, that's the wrong one. I rolled the wrong thing.
Anji, I'm going to need you to make an athletics check.
Oh, good grief. Okay.
Okay, nat 20 on the perception.
Oh, yeah,
Well
you
done.
saw Ori go down under a pile of zombies.
Okay. I think at that point, Sparrow will get a look of sheer, like, almost unreasoned panic on her face. And will probably, without really even thinking about it, attempt to, since I, at the very least at the moment, can bamf freely in this zone, will port herself over there, for better or worse, to try to save her.
You appear next to Ori, who is down under a number of zombies that are just clawing at her and scrabbling at her. She's screaming because this is bad. Okay.
She'll like start like pulling and stabbing and just trying to get through to her frantically.
Let me get back to you in a second. Anji, what did you get on your athletics check?
A 9.
A 9. Okay. So you shove one zombie out of the way. And you can see the rod. And then another rabid zombie kind of crawls up over the rod toward you and goes, ah. And you yeah, that looks frightening. You did notice that the werewolf reacted to your music. Like,
sing a little louder.
Yeah,
it's
coming this way.
We're gonna do the key change at the second bridge right now.
Okay, the zombie is approaching you. Okay, Sparrow, make an attack roll, please, because you're stabbing it. Oh, and fortunately, you can sneak attack because the zombies are technically threatened by your ally.
All right, I will do that. So I will. Let's see.
I mean, not significantly threatened, but they are threatened.
It's only an 11.
Okay, you do stab a zombie. It does damage. You kill one zombie.
Okay, I'll stab down and then try to wrench it off as I'm trying to like get to her. I'm like, no, like she and Sparrow at this point is probably just going, no, 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 and just kind of like frantically like trying to get through, trying to pull them off.
Ooh, okay, yeah, you stab, and then your sword gets stuck in a zombie's rib cage, and you throw it away and lose your hold on your sword. It also goes flying away.
All right, I have knives. I'll keep going. Like,
Okay.
oh,
Ori has that dagger, which is magical dagger, and she's slashing at the zombies largely ineffectually. And one of them punches her, and she stops moving. And make another attack roll.
okay. Let's see here. I'm not quite as good with my daggers, but 17.
Okay. Yeah, you stab that zombie in the head, and it kind of slumps over to the side, giving you like you can see Ori lying there covered in blood and guts from various zombies. Some of those guts you spilled yourself. Let's be clear. Not all of them, though. Okay. Anji, the zombie's approaching you. And you rise in an octave when it gets close.
It's the key change. It's not a whole octave.
Right. It's the key change.
It's the key change.
Okay, you start the key change, and that's when the werewolf's paw comes and sweeps that zombie out of the way.
I don't know why the werewolf is like not doing me harm and doing them harm, but like I've had stranger allies, so I can roll with it.
The werewolf is covered in blood and like small little wounds, but nothing really significant. Nothing that seems to be slowing it down. Sounder, you have found Anji again, who is looking up at you. Gratitude.
Tries to ask, if she saw what happened to Ori.
Oh yeah, the werewolf growls maybe threateningly at you, Anji.
Yeah, I have a feeling I don't understand any of that. I'm just like, nice doggy. And just
so much confusion from
right, tries to not get too distracted. I'm just trying to get that rod up.
Okay. Anji, moving slowly, you can pick up the rod. It is obviously very powerful magically. You have no idea really what it does. You've only seen it today. Okay, and then you're face to face with the werewolf. Yeah, Sounder, she's looking very freaked out.
Right, I've now gotten to the I looked around in my blood-soaked gown verse, and I'm like, going that
way. Trying to like make some sense of this again, because it's like, okay, cardboard cutout people, zombie people, which is the illusion, which is the truth? I usually don't much care for Anji's music, so why does it sound so great right now? And where is Ori?
Okay, make a wisdom saving throw, Sounder.
Instant Swifty, just add Moonlight.
Oh goodness. I'm sorry. That's a 16.
Okay. So you hear a voice in the back of your mind, kind of that same rough, gravelly voice. Eat her. Eat them all. But you don't have to.
No.
You can
Gross.
separate yourself. And then the thoughts feel angry, like furious at you for not doing what you should be doing. But you're still in control. In fact, Anji, you see that the werewolf shrinks a little bit, like its body becomes smaller, condenses, its height reduces, like it's been on a different hormone treatment for a long time in the span of just a few seconds. And you also realize that the moon is moving past the sun, and there's more light now. You see light starting to sweep across the courtyard. And in fact, where the light touches the zombies at the edge of the courtyard, they just fall over.
Oh, good. Then I am able to deduce that the light is bad for the zombies. Huzzah. Okay. I am actually going to like shout in Oriana's direction that the sun is bad for them. Just like hold on. When the sun hits them, you'll be fine.
Okay, you see that Sparrow is over there, kind of like stabbing and stabbing and stabbing at these zombies. And like there's lots of blood and lots of mud that's flown around. It's a brutal, brutal fight over there.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go over there.
Yes, you might get mud on yourself.
I don't want to get blood on my shoes. They're very nice satin shoes. But I have Ori's stick, and I will like yell to them like that the sun will neutralize the zombies, and so just like keep yourselves alive until the eclipse is over, because that's
okay. You're still doing your magic, your song, still singing?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be like tiny bursts of words like in between. Like I would normally just want to breathe for a second and take a pause between verses, but no, I will.
Singing a phrase about the zombies falling in the light of day.
Yeah. Suddenly it's Alexa, play Here Comes the Sun kind of a thing.
Okay. Make a performance check, please.
Okay. Hey, look, when I actually have like a
skill that she's pretty good at.
Skill I actually have. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Okay, we are here. And then we go 16.
Okay. All right. So your music still seems to be captivating the werewolf in some way. Sounder, you experienced this as the beast being calmed and bound to some extent within you, like held back by chains of this music. And Anji, you see something very, very remarkable, which is that the werewolf, its features shift and its snout kind of like shrinks back toward its face, and it starts resembling a different kind of animal, like a pig or like a boar, perhaps. Congratulations, Sounder. You've now become a wereboar.
I don't know if that's any better, but
it feels more comfortable to you. Like you're more similar to yourself. You feel more in control. Okay. Sparrow.
Yes.
So you have been stabbing these zombies with your knives. How many knives do you have exactly?
I have two.
You have two.
She's probably whipped both of them out because.
Oh yeah. Well,
so
these knives are getting stuck in the zombies, and one of them you stab and it breaks off in the zombie. You discard that useless hilt. The other knife has been getting stuck, but you're pulling it out. You know, as soon as you stab, you pull out, stab, pull out, because otherwise it's going to get stuck and the zombie is going to drag it down. But Ori's limp hand is still holding this black dagger. Do you want to claim that?
I'll need all the advantage I can get. So yeah, I'll scoop it up and flip it. Because she fought with knives before she took up the rapier. So let's do this.
Okay. This blade has no such problem. It is not getting stuck in zombies. It is going in smooth. It is cutting right through bone and flesh and piercing brains, no problem. In fact, when you land critical hits, it does extra damage.
Okay.
It feels like it's extremely suited for your hand.
I like this knife. I'll keep like
Excellent.
I am going at it now.
Okay, Aji, there's another zombie coming toward you, and it's gonna attack you.
Of course it is.
Okay, so it is gonna hit you, and it's gonna
Okay.
do a little bit of damage to you. Do you have more infernal rebuke thing,
I have,
or is it
yeah,
just the
I
one?
have, nope, I have another hellish rebuke in me.
Okay, it does 9 points of damage to you.
Okay.
Just it slugs you pretty hard.
Okay. I'm gonna get it back. Oh heck yeah. See, me having all my spell slots available. This is good stuff.
Mhm.
I can do with Hellish Rebuke, I get to do 4d10 damage to it this time.
Wow. Okay, that sounds nice.
Well, we'll see if the dice are nice to me. Yes, I did 24 damage to them.
Oh my God. All right, so that zombie just explodes in fiery gobbets of flesh and organs. So it striking you was not good for it in the long
How
run.
many of those do you have, by the way?
She's not sure. I have no idea.
And the thing about zombies is they are utterly fearless, and they are also just they don't learn from their mistakes, so they keep coming at you, and you can blow up a couple more. So
Don't tear my dress.
the sun is creeping past, and when it reaches you, the zombies around you just fall to the ground, just as like puppets with no strings. And when the sun is fully revealed once again, you're standing, panting, covered in blood and gore in the middle of this square full of corpses. And your werebore friend, ally, companion, just continues to shrink and become smaller, of a more manageable size, until finally it turns back into Sounder.
That does explain a bit, doesn't it? Hello, dear. You feeling all right?
Oh, stop. Gross.
Indeed.
Spitting out blood and other stuff.
The first thing Sparrow is going to do as soon as the threat is over is check on Oriana.
Okay. Yeah, Oriana is down and not moving.
Okay. I don't know if Sparrow knows how to check to see if someone's dead or not. I guess she'll like
Well, you can make
does
a
she seem
medicine
dead?
check.
I mean it's in a -1, but let's try this. I got a 7.
Okay. Yeah, she seems dead to you.
Yeah, Sparrow will start to panic. Like no, wake up. She'll just try to checking probably in a very not great spot for it for the pulse, trying to shake her a little bit.
You're just like touching
She's
at her face and shaking
she's
her.
and then at a certain point when if that's not doing anything, she'll just kind of uh fully break down and just kind of gather the most likely actually unconscious Oriana close, and she's just curled up with her and crying, just
Okay.
absolutely tears streaming down the face, practically despondent.
Oh, shit. Oh, okay.
Sounder,
Aren't
your
you-
hands are your hands again. You're yourself.
Oh. Where did Ori go? I saw her for a second, but kind of becoming more aware of what's going on around her again, realizes that Sparrow is sobbing over there.
I'm gonna do the only thing a rich girl in my circumstance can think to do, and that is to run into the safe house and like literally look and see if there's anybody qualified to deal with this better than we are. Like, I don't know who was in there. I don't even know Toronto's in there, right? Like, I don't know who's in there. Maybe there's a cleric in there somewhere. Maybe there's someone with some sort of resurrection skill in there, or like a doctor, because maybe she's not even all the way dead, because Sparrow doesn't know a heartbeat from a hole in the ground, as far as I'm aware. So, like,
I mean,
You're
yeah.
right.
if
Nah,
she's got
nah.
if she's got a super weak pulse and Sparrow just couldn't find it, like maybe there's someone in the building who could be more helpful than any of us. So I'm gonna like take off running, trying to find
All right.
anyone who might have some credential beyond what we have.
Okay, so you run into the building and you find the common room is full of bloody corpses.
Oh, that
Most
doesn't
of them
bode
torn
well.
apart by claws and or teeth.
Oh, that's bad. That's really
There
really
was a
bad.
barricade that was holding the door shut, but it is also rent asunder by claws and or teeth.
Oh, I shan't tell Sarah
Yeah.
what she might have done. We're just going to keep that quiet. Yeah, but just like running from room to room to see if like there's now I'm just like, is anybody alive? But
So yeah, you run upstairs. There's a corpse like just lying in the middle of the hallway in a couple of places. And you do see somebody moving up in the hallway, and it's Tarrant of all people,
oh,
leaning against the door frame.
what of all the
Anji?
soul survivors? Hello.
That's quite a greeting. What?
You'll understand in a moment. Have you perhaps? I know your skill set is strange and varied and uniquely interesting. Might
Spit
you
it
have
out.
resurrection?
What?
Someone has perhaps died, perhaps not. I didn't look too closely.
Take me.
Please come, and just like grabs his hand and just like
Yep.
we're
Okay.
running now. We are tripping over bodies. We are, and like I feel like by the time we get where we're going, Toronto will understand why Soul Survivor was what I referred to him as. Like, this is bad.
Yeah. I think
So okay, yep.
And then I just sort
just-
of like swing him, toss him, bowl him in the general direction of Oriana.
Okay.
Like, there are
Yeah.
lots of corpses
All right.
out here, but there's one that like I actually would like some attention directed
So that's
toward.
gonna take a bit.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sparrow, you're gonna do what?
Well, Sparrow is like still kind of cradling the person she thinks is dead. And she's just like probably just repeating like, apologies, like, I'm sorry, it's my fault, kind of in this. She's very much gone into this very panicked, having a breakdown, circular, like, she's not all there, so she's just kind of clinging on, and I'm sorry, kind of that kind of thing.
Mhm.
So she's not doing much effectively.
So Sounder, it's like awakening from a dream, but like a semi-lucid dream where you were sort of aware of what was going on and you were sort of aware of the world, but also you were caught in the dream world. You ever had a dream like that where you're not entirely sure what's real and what's not?
Like the ones where you wake up and you think you got ready to go to work, and then you wake up and you're like, I'm still in bed.
Right. And all the things that you did to get ready for work still need to be done.
Yeah.
And it's really annoying.
Yeah.
It's like that, except with bodies.
So many bodies.
Yeah. And you feel like there's a thread of something, like some piece of understanding that if you just if you just thought about it a little bit harder, you would find some kind of deeper understanding. Would you like to make an Arcana check, please?
I would like to make an Arcana check.
I thought you might.
And regardless of the outcome of that check, would eventually like to go and try to see if Ori is still alive for real.
Okay.
Or not. That's a 10 for that
Okay.
Arcana.
So the understanding is fleeting. You sort of grasp that you are a being of multitudes, that there are many, many facets to you. I mean, that you thought your heritage was that, like, you were a boar shifter, right?
Yeah.
And like, you had a certain kinship with animals of that ilk. But this experience that you've been through has made you realize that it's greater than that. There's a greater spectrum of creatures that you link to, that you and there it's gone. That's about as much as you get. You're not entirely sure how to access this, but that's as much as you realize. You just caught a glimpse of a far greater world, and that it had something to do with the eclipse, that you had spent so much time in the sun, freed of your shifter heritage, essentially. And then when the moon took over the sun once again, it all came roaring back. And the balance that you usually maintain is just out the window.
Shit.
Valid.
Yeah, no, it was a totally reasonable reaction.
I'll
All
have to
right.
ask Pa about that when I get back.
You said you wanted to go help Oriana?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, Sparrow is cradling Oriana's unmoving body. Would you like to make a medicine check?
Yes.
Okay.
Probably won't do much better, but it's worth a shot. Oh, that's a 17.
Okay. Well, the good news is Oriana is still alive. The bad news is barely. So, like, there's a pulse and she's breathing very faintly. If you had, say, healing potion or restorative magic, now might be the right time. Do either of you have access to such a thing?
Sparrow. You got a potion? Anything? Bandages.
What good would it do?
She's not dead.
What?
Potions, bandages, something. Magic,
No,
even.
I don't. I can't do that.
Right. Yeah,
Sparrow, you realize that you still have a dagger in your hand, and the pommel is no longer a diamond but a ruby. Like, it's red, as though it's full of something red.
Start staring at it, confused. Was that? No, we have to. Where's Anji?
I'm running in your direction.
Yep. So you see the door open at the tavern, but it's still all the way across the square.
I'm gonna literally, the moment like the door is open, I'm going to shout, "Is she alive?"
Barely.
And I am not that athletic a person, and I'm sure there are a lot of bodies, but like skirts up around my knees, like running full tilt. Like, this is the least ladylike y'all are ever gonna see me. Because it occurs to me there is something I might be able to do. So I'm gonna get there as fast as I can, and it's gonna be real not graceful.
Okay. So Sparrow, why don't you make me an insight check, please?
Okay. It's only a 7.
Okay. So you are pretty sure that that dagger somehow drank blood from the things that you were stabbing with it.
Okay.
Not the older corpses necessarily, but the fresh ones that still had blood in them. That the dagger now has that blood inside it and is storing it in that pommel.
Okay. Any sort of like, can I? So strange. Like
Well,
she's
you rolled a
just kind of
7,
like,
so
yeah, no, I know. Like I'm not like connecting the dots quite yet. Like,
but okay. Here we go. So with your excellent insight of 7 and the mania that has gripped you out of fear for losing Oriana, it occurs to you that perhaps this dagger can both give life as well as take life. Like,
okay.
you examine your body and you are covered in wounds, like slashes and scratches and bruises. Those zombies should have put you down a long time ago, but somehow you kept standing. Like the dagger was feeding you as you fed upon the zombies.
Okay. Well then, yeah, if that's the connection I'm making, then I think at that point she will just kind of mumble like I think I've got an idea, and she'll take the dagger and put it in Oriana's hand and kind of like close her fingers around the hilt and see if that does anything.
The dagger gleams and is obviously very sharp, and it's pointed at you.
God's help me, and she'll cut herself with it.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah. So
What are you doing?
You had to go to blood magic before I could go over there. You did. Of course
He's
you did.
frantic.
Yeah,
it's true. It is 100% true.
If she were in her
okay.
right mind right now, this would not be happening.
So when you do that, sure enough, the dagger seems to be draining the blood out of the wound. Like drinking it like a vampire might. And as you're watching this kind of horrific thing happen to you, like it does some damage to you. Hold on. It does 11 points of damage to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And suddenly Oriana's eyes flutter and she goes and wakes up.
Well, it worked.
Anji arrives, panting a little bit. Oriana looks around at all of you. What just happened?
I don't think you want to know.
I don't even know.
I think we need to get inside.
Yeah.
You see there are little red veins creeping down from the dagger into Oriana's arm, where she's holding it.
That's so gross.
Sparrow's just happy it worked.
If
Okay.
that hadn't worked, I would have smacked you upside the head. Okay?
Look,
Don't do
I
that
didn't-
again.
Look, you're lucky I didn't go as extreme with it as I was initially thinking.
Yeah, don't do that again, Oriana says. Whatever you did.
Yes, listen to her. Don't do that.
I'll be
again.
fine. It's just a
Oh,
flesh
is
wound.
that my rod?
In fact, it is. I was coming to hand it back to you, thinking that might help before the stabbing thing.
Thanks.
Welcome.
I feel good. Let's I mean, she only has 11 hit points, but you know, she's back alive.
Hey,
Okay.
here I'll help Oriana stand, and we can start heading for the safe house, I guess.
You don't want to go in there. You don't.
Why?
No, you probably don't,
you
Tarant
don't.
says.
Where
You
else
know
are we
what
gonna
it looks
go?
like out here?
Anywhere else.
This here, you see what this, the carnage, and that only with upholstery.
Well, how about this? With everything that's just been happening, the guard are likely either gone or not going to be presently looking for us. I say we find a spot to make a crossing now.
Yes, as a matter of fact, getting the heck out of Dayside. That's the best idea you've had all day.
I do have
With
good ones on
haste.
occasion.
Just don't give her back the
Typically,
thing with
the
quality
normal
and the jewels and the... Ooh. With
the normal
haste.
gates shouldn't be guarded right now.
Well, we could use the sewer tram.
Sewer tram?
Well, yeah. You've never ridden the sewer tram before?
No, I've never ridden.
What
Who
is it with you and
controls the
sewers,
sewer
Durant?
tram?
Well, the guild.
The guild.
You don't know anything about Dayside, do you?
Be any vaguer. What?
He points us at her. I'm talking about the Wagoneers
right,
Trader
right.
Guild.
Yeah, them.
Yes.
Not the Wagoneers Guild. They
I don't know.
rebranded.
It's
They split off.
some kind of vehicle. Anyway, what they do is they move goods, smuggle them
the Carter's
between
Guild.
Carter's. That's it. That's it.
I think it's a dumb name.
I think it's a family name.
I think it doesn't matter what the name of it is.
No, but what they do is they move carts along this this sewer line, and if we smuggle ourselves into these carts, we can get back to Nightside. It's one of the few relatively safe, relatively reliable means of getting back to Nightside.
At least ones that aren't normally guarded, but they shouldn't be guarded right now, should they? I mean, with everything that's just happened.
I
No,
imagine they'd
But
be
perhaps
pretty well
I ought
guarded.
to maybe
He-
mention
yeah.
when Oriana found me, I'd just been pushed off the roof of a multi-story building by someone who'd stolen my face and was perhaps trying to take over my identity. So really, whichever is the most hidden and fastest way out
What?
of Dayside is what. Long story. I'll tell you the rest later. With haste.
Okay. No, I can tell you for sure it's not guarded because that, he nudges one of the zombies at his feet. That's Algus Carter. And that, he points to one of the zombies
Oh.
that the werewolf tore up.
I
That's
was talking
Theoden
about-
Carter.
I was talking about the normal traffic. The normal. Never mind. They're
The
Since when have you done
Jussicars?
anything normal? Let's
no.
just...
They're.
I understand what you're saying. I do.
I know we're all of the thiefly types and smugglers and things here, but there are like standard gateways that people
Stole
do
my
use.
face, pushed me off a building.
There's
Oh,
there are
well,
portals.
Might be might be.
Nobody's guarding the door right now.
I don't
I'm
like
sure.
sewers at
We
all, but
don't
under
know
the
that.
ground might be more safe. Just
We do know
Fine.
they're not guarding it.
Right.
Fine. Look, it's either that or the rift then.
I don't want the rift. The rift sucks.
Yes, I know the rift sucks. Lots of people. Look, fine, we'll take the carts.
we'll take the cards.
I'm
Look,
not
Queen of Shadow,
dexterous enough to do the rift.
you don't have to do what I suggested, Tarant says. If you want to try the rift or you want to try one of the doors, that's fine.
There's a
I
grappling hook. We could do the
am
rift.
going to go take with the cart. And I
going
suspect
to-
Sounder here, who I think is the most responsible and level-headed of all of you, is
Oh.
also going to go on the cart.
She'll pat
Right?
her. She'll pat her belt for a second. Oh, no! I think one of the zombies got my grappling hook. Never
Possibly.
mind. Let's take the carts.
Let's take the cards. Yes.
So
yes, shall we?
Oriana has stepped a little bit away from the group and is like tugging at something.
Are you all right?
What you
Yeah.
got?
I almost
What
got
is
it. She tugs your rapier out of the zombie that
Oh,
had pulled it
Oh.
away.
Oh, I'd been about to look
That's
for that.
going to need a good and thorough cleaning when we. get
It's a
back.
little bit.
all of us are.
It's a
Doing the
little
whole,
bit
like-
bent, but I think it'll still work.
Requires as thorough scouring as the rest of us, I suppose. Shall we?
She'll just kind of like look at it sadly. Right,
Sounder,
how much
you
to
look
go?
at that. You look at that rapier, and you are pretty sure that someone messed up the heat treat on that sword. And Sparrow definitely needs a better one.
Well, if we take it with us, we can trade it in for scrap. And
She just looks
probably-
even more like dejected at that. Like she's like,
look, you can repair it, but it's just gonna bend in that same spot again.
Or break,
Every
Tarant
time.
adds.
Is this a conversation
and
we
she'll
could
just
perhaps
kind of
have
like-
underground?
Oh yes.
but she'll as she's like trying to work it back into its sheath and like after bending it slightly to get it back into place, she just goes, Valyrian, you cheap bastard. She'll just
I mean, you did put it through a lot of punishment,
she did.
And
I
by
don't know.
punishment, he means human bodies. Like,
right?
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone else watches Forge and Fire. I know Allie
Yes.
does. And okay, I see you, Forda. Those
Each
things
week
they put
kill.
those blades through are inhuman tests,
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
and that's what
Anyway.
you just did
Yes.
over and over again. So,
So
all right,
okay.
yes.
The
Tarant
only
says,
way
yeah,
we
they're-
could have been crueler to it is if we had tried to take it to some undead rams.
in
there
any
should
case,
be a sewer entrance. Split up and look for one,
might as
Uh,
well.
or he's
I am not-
sticking near
I'm
Sparrow
not
though.
splitting up at all. I
All
need
right.
a buddy.
All right.
All right, come with me, princess. Tarant says.
Okay, very well then.
I need an adult investigation.
All
I'm
right, let's
guessing.
just all go together. It's
Adult here,
fine.
No, I
adult.
was kidding.
I need an adult here.
Sparrow's
Adult.
fine. I was out of that was out of character.
I'm
But
not fine.
So-
okay, yeah.
So as you're standing there, as you're breaking up into teams, a small little face pokes out from an alleyway, and you realize that it's Eve.
Evie, sweetie, what are you doing out here?
I brought her with us.
There was danger. I hid.
Okay. Come here, come here.
Yeah, she runs up and hugs Sounder's leg.
Oh,
It's like, what
no,
did you want
you're
me to
gonna
do?
need a
Leave her with the
bath too.
people that wanted to sell
No.
us?
No.
No.
Should she come with us?
Also,
back where-
wait a minute. And she'll like Sparrow will stop, like just remembering something. Why aren't you on the wanted poster? And she'll point it on.
Well, I imagine probably so that whomever's wearing her face right now can wander around unaccosted.
No, you don't
Can-
understand it.
Can we circle back, Tarant says, to someone wearing your face?
We can, but could we get someplace else?
Yes, we can talk
First.
about this
Hidden.
on the tram.
Hidden. Yes, indeed. On a cart while rolling out of here.
Sewer tramp.
Right.
And Sparrow, I believe the answer is that I'm relatively new to the adventuring party is all. They hadn't had a chance to add my face to it.
Don't think that's the reason, sweetheart.
Also,
I
I'm
really
wanted all
don't.
on my own on this side, so it could be that the rewards would be confusing.
We'll talk about this more later.
Let's get out of here, shall we? Thank you.
Is my face on the wanted poster? Tehran asks.
No.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Yes. Oh yes, look at you all
No,
law-abiding
because I
and what
think the
have you.
three of us got set up.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. I took a job from the Black Widow. Who could have seen that coming?
Listen,
Shut up.
Nelly would never do harm that
No
way.
no one asked
Wrong.
for your opinion on that, Tarant.
Anyway, split up, look for a sewer entrance. And Eve says, like that one?
Oh,
Pointing to the alley where she was hiding.
So to pokes her head around
Go
the corner.
look at it, yeah.
Yeah, just like that one. Good.
indeed.
Good
Yeah,
job,
well done.
sweetie.
Well done,
Where'd
dear.
the little girl come from again? Tehran asked.
The
The-
Doomtrain.
The train.
Doom
We found
train.
the train.
Oh.
That,
All right.
well done, Eve dear. You'll have a sweet when we get back to Nightside.
Okay, so you head down into the sewers. And I think that might be a good time to take a break. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes. There's some sewer diving to do. Hopefully not with actual diving into sewage. And will our heroes, anti-heroes, make it back? We'll see in just a few. Don't go away.
Pick up your gear and open your chests. Throw on your armor and head out on a quest. Hey, hey. It's a brand new day. On the slow coast, your allies will help with blades and bows and magic as well. Hey, hey. Heroes on their way. Fighting together against overwhelming odds. Fighting together in favor of multiple gods. Idle champions of the forgotten realms. Idle champions, adventure never ends. Idle champions, get your wall and there. Idle champions, you will say it again. Idle champions.
And we're back. As the Daughters of Darkness descend into the bowels of the sewers beneath Dayside. Here we go. So
Constantly
The
uncovering
smell.
new levels of filth.
the smell is the first thing. The city above is beautiful and clean. Well, it was until today. And you would be forgiven for thinking that people's shit did not stink, that their garbage did not exist, that it was all just magicked away. Exactly. But it appears that all of it just ended up down here because it smells to high heaven. There are places in Nightside that are very stinky, but they are not this bad. You are basically wading through rivers of sewage and garbage almost as soon as you get down into the passageways. And Tehran says, you know what? I'm sorry that I suggested this. I'd never done this myself. This is bad. I
No.
apologize. This is on me.
It's not on you. I can't even blame you. Everybody would think, oh, reasonable place like this would have some decent waste management. But no!
It must be bad, especially bad for you, Sounder, with the nose and everything.
Mm.
Oh, and it is.
I would like to help with this. I intend to use prestidigitation to make the air around us smell not terrible, because I can do that.
Okay.
Hey, look, I can do that too, actually.
Like,
A little bit of magic.
yeah, like somewhere between Tiger Balm and Vicks Vapor Rub, something that's just like really medicinal and pungent, and will do what Dr. Dana Scully taught me, which is put something in your nostrils that is more powerful than what might be coming toward your nostrils.
Okay. So
Little-
as long as
little
you stay
magical-
fairly close together, and
Yeah,
a couple
Sparrow
of you do
can-
this,
Yeah.
you can You can get everybody. If you want to leave Tarrant out, I and he will understand. Anyway, so yeah, you're wading through the sewers, and there are a few zombies down here, which you can largely just stay out of the way of, or, well, they're no match for the whole group. So I'm not going to run through those combats. You just dispatch them, no problem. It becomes a little bit of a survival horror game, but like you have the resources to make it through. Until you encounter the bugbears. So the sewer at one point opens up into a larger room, like a cavern almost. And you see buildings inside this cavern. Old, worn down, broken, cracked buildings. Like under the foundations of the city. Like another city was built atop this city. And as you're kind of taking that in, you see a series of large, furry, muscular forms moving among these buildings and just hauling trash, going through trash, finding useful items, discarding others. They don't seem to have noticed you. A lot of you are pretty stealthy, right? And they are indeed bugbears. Very dirty, very smelly bugbears. They're communicating with each other in Goblin. Who speaks Goblin?
Nope.
Okay. You're pretty sure that's Goblin.
Down here. I'll just say very quietly to Sounder.
Nope.
So,
what they're saying.
Tarrant says they're just doing their work and they're comparing notes about things they've found.
Oh, what'd they find?
Things, bits and bobs. Usable things. Oh, one of them found a grappling hook.
Oh, good for them.
Yeah, pretty sure that was pretty sure. Yeah, pretty sure that's Sparrow's grappling hook that they found.
Not important.
Not anymore.
We'll get you a better one. Let's keep moving.
Yeah, I'm not interested in trying to wrest my grappling hook from these guys. Let's try to go around if we can. I don't have any interest in interrupting their work. That's
all right. If you leave the protective darkness of the tunnel, then you will have to make stealth checks to get around them.
okay.
All right.
Let's see. I mean, Sparrow will pull her hood up and let's do this.
Sounder will pick
I mean,
up
do we
Evie
have
and,
enough of
like,
us that we can turn everybody invisible? Because that we could do that.
I mean, I got a 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to need everybody to make a stealth check. If you want to cast like invisibility, Oriana can make one person invisible.
And I can make one person invisible.
Okay. So whoever they make invisible, I'm just going to have you automatically succeed on your stealth check. So is that what you want to do?
Would someone like to be invisible?
I'm like built for stealthy, so
Tarrant is
I
like,
can go without.
Don't make me invisible. That would just be offensive.
if you're gonna make anyone invisible, maybe the little lady here.
Yeah, that's a good plan. I could make Evening invisible.
Okay. Evening finds that very interesting.
All right, so
yeah.
we're gonna have to be real quiet though.
Okay. I mean, Okay.
Splashes a thumbs up because good job.
Okay, and is Sounder or Anji gonna end up invisible?
Who's stealthier of the two of you?
I mean, I rolled a 17.
I am not particularly stealthy. I'm gonna admit that right
invisible
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Give it to
Okay.
Anji.
Oriana casts invisibility on Anji.
Okay.
Like, I'm super stealthy, have advantage on stealth rolls, and can shadow teleport. So I think
Yeah,
I'll be
yeah,
okay.
you're the least invisible. Like you're the most naturally invisible person. You don't need help with that. Yeah,
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the opposite of stealthy. I'm a bright pink tiefling drummer.
I mean, I can even hide
I
while
am-
being directly observed.
Yeah. I'm built for spectacle.
That's pretty cool. All
So
right.
yeah.
Tarant,
Invisible me.
Tarant puts his hands together briefly, and then shadow magic kind of sweeps out around the group of you, and you are all encased in silence. So you can speak out of character to me, but you can't
Yeah.
talk to each other.
Can't talk to each other character.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah, nope. Just like anything to avoid the bugbears. I'm just like this.
And then he makes a series of gestures, which Sparrow, you speak thieves can't, so you know
Mhm.
that what those mean. And they basically are instructions for moving past the bugbears. Okay, and then he takes off.
It is very good for everyone that I am invisible because the looks on my face would probably make people laugh otherwise. So
Now, when you're invisible and you are also silenced, that is a real strange out of body experience
do not like.
because you
Do not
can't see
like.
yourself and you can't hear yourself, not even your own heartbeat. So,
I think since the only one she can see, only ones that she can see would be Sounder and Oriana. Sparrow, since she understood the thieves can't, will just kind of make a kind of vague like follow me kind of gesture, and then herself try to follow the instructions that Tarant gave to get around the bugbears.
so I will need people to make. Oh, I think at this point, with enough magic and enough stealthiness and the silence, you just kind of automatically bypass these bugbears. And since you are silenced, you don't hear what they're saying either. But they're going through the trash and they're picking up items, and one of them like picks up a grappling hook and he's like, oh. they're like, and they start like tug of warring this grappling hook.
It's just Sparrow as she passes, just like
One of them finds a little rag doll and is like brushing some gunk off of it, maybe blood, who knows. And at one point, when you are about 2/3 of the way through, one of them goes, and they talk to each other silently. Sparrow, as you're crouched there, Tarant's hand touches your shoulder, and he gives you the signal to like, we got to go fast.
still kind of make a quick gesture to the others, like that she hopes will be read as hurry up, like, and then she'll start hurrying herself, going a little quicker.
Okay. So, Anji, I would like you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh no. Oh no.
Because you are invisible and silenced, and it's just kind of strange.
Yeah, okay. That's 11.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. You see the gesture and you're able to follow it and you just keep going. Like at one point you trip on something and fall down and your dress probably gets all dirty, but you don't know, you can't see it.
I
But
can
you don't
still
make any
feel that
noise
it's
either.
no longer dry.
It's true.
Okay. Ew.
You don't make any sound though. Sounder, you're pretty sure you understand what that signal means. You're just gonna hurry along.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You get to the other side. There's another tunnel that leads deeper in. This whole cavern appears to be some kind of like temporary warren area, like a camp where the bugbears had set up camp. They have a couple of grimy lean-tos that you're kind of near, but again, the bugbears are over there working and nobody's at the tents that you can see. Okay, you get over there and Tarrant looks and he sees Sparrow and he sees Sounder and he counts with 2 fingers. He gestures, and this gesture means, "Where's Anji?" Or it means, "Where's the princess?" With a little crown.
I'll like reach out and like poke him on the shoulder.
Okay.
We're like, I'm here.
He adds a 3rd finger, points to himself, adds a 4th finger.
Is Oriana still with us?
5
Yeah, Oriana's still there.
Eve, because Eve
Okay.
is on Sounder's, back, shoulders, however, piggyback style.
But she's
Okay.
invisible.
Yeah. And that's what
Okay.
Sounder's trying to like mime
That's-
back at him. Like we're
that's all of
accounted
us.
for. We're accounted for. Let's go.
All right. Yep. You got everybody.
Okay.
It is possible that Eve might have got lost or something, but since you were carrying her on your shoulders, no problem. All right. Yeah, you get through. You come to a gated area. Like somebody has built or repurposed a sewer grate as a kind of gate to keep this area closed off, but the gate is open. There are signs of a struggle. Clearly, zombies were here, and they came out of the gate and went on their way. So you can just bypass the gate, no problem. It's not locked.
Okay.
When you get into that other room, okay, you see that there's a workroom in the sewers. It looks like a warehouse, kind of like underground. There are sacks and boxes and carts, and importantly, there is a long track with what appear to be like miners' carts on it. One of the carts is loaded with several of those sacks. It appears that somebody was in the middle of doing business when an attack happened. There are no bodies in here. Not that you see anyway.
That's either good or awful.
But like these are pretty obviously the carts and the tracks that will take us where we want to go. So like
Okay. Trump makes a gesture again and ends the silence effect.
Well, I
that
don't
was
suppose you know how to.
interesting.
Yes, I don't suppose you know how to run this thing, do you?
I'm familiar with the basic concept. I suppose Sounder probably understands it better, which is
I
accurate.
get the gist of it.
Mm-hmm. It looks like each of those carts can carry 2 people.
All right.
All right then. Tally
And
ho.
there are 4 carts. The one at the front is loaded with sacks of something.
Sounder is going to investigate what those sacks are to see if she can't essentially finagle us some disguises to just kind of hide under.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty easy to figure out what they are. They are sacks of grain, like foodstuffs.
Okay.
And
Well,
the
I'm not.
boxes, one of them is open and you can see that there are bolts of cloth in them. Like pretty high quality stuff.
Ooh.
One of the boxes has a bloody handprint on it, but a fresh bloody handprint. But otherwise, they seem to be untouched.
Well, I say we just load ourselves up, activate this thing however we can, and get the hell out of here.
I second yes. That yes. Let's do that. Stole my face. Push me off a building.
Load ourselves and some of the goods. Durant puts in.
Yeah, I'm on that train.
I'm quite content to hide beneath a bit of that silk. Thank you.
Yep. All right.
Sure,
So,
I don't know why we would need to hide. Everyone here is clearly gone or dead.
Yeah,
And
Her
people whoever
worship
belie-
is going to need a new dress one
I
of
don't
these
know
days.
who's on the other end. The other end.
exactly.
If it's the
Yes,
constabulary, we'd rather,
Well, there
see
is
them
no
before they see
constabulary.
us.
There is no constabulary in Nightside. You know that.
Yeah, but there's the other end of the Carter's Guild.
Unless you count Hellfire, Oriana puts in.
I'd hardly count Hellfire as the constabulary, but
Well, we
I
like to
do-
think of ourselves as the constabulary.
Either way, best to see them before they see us.
Right,
fine.
Durant says.
I'd rather be out of here as quickly as possible, but if we have to load
Yeah.
some things in on top of ourselves, so be it.
He produces a sash, which you're not really sure where he got that. Probably from one of the
Where does
you do
Tarot
have
get
a memory.
anything?
You do have a memory of seeing those bodies he indicated wearing similar sashes. And he says, if one of us wears this, he looks at Sparrow. He puts it on himself. Okay,
All
so
right,
Sparrow makes a rude gesture. at
Hey, we
Duran.
don't know
look,
that the
I'm
other
not
side-
happy about it either.
And
It's
we
like you
know
don't
that the
trust
other
me.
side doesn't have our faces on wanted posters.
Or milk
Those
cartons.
posters would carry no weight over there.
Sure, the ones
Unless-
on this side, unless somebody said, "Hey, I'm gonna pay 1,000 gold for these people dead."
Is that the
That was the
reward?
reward.
Durant says 1,000 gold.
1,000 gold.
That's pretty good.
A piece.
A piece.
Yes.
Oh.
No, I'm committed
That's
to
how I-
helping you escape. Okay, let's do this.
Yeah, try it and we leave you here.
No, I'm a man of my word. Anyway, let's Sounder, we can figure out which of these is the most valuable stuff to take, right?
Yeah.
Just give us a moment.
That cart's already pretty good. It's got
Mhm.
cloth and food stuff, so that's solid.
I'm just literally gonna hop in that first cart and just sit and wait.
Okay. Tarant
Sounding
starts
The
looking around.
impatience is powerful.
Eve is in that first cart with you. Just here you go.
Eve looks up at Anji. Are you okay?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
Oh, indeed.
She closes her eyes and seems to concentrate really hard, and her hands start glowing faintly white,
Oh, that's not disturbing at all.
and then she lays her hands on Anji's arm, and Anji, you heal 8 hit points.
That's cute.
Well,
And then
that would have
Eve
been
goes,
useful earlier.
and then Eve goes, ah. And she just falls asleep, leaning on Anji.
Beautiful.
All right. Well, once they determine what we're taking, Sparrow will help to load that into carts so that we can get out of here as soon as possible.
All right. So what? Investigation or
Yeah, investigation would do it.
okay.
Hey, Shadow Lady, Tarant says. Surely there's a hidden compartment or something. Help me find it.
All right.
Sounder is utterly useless. That was a nat one for a total of
What do you want?
6. She's
All right,
just
so you're
piling random stuff that decent
like,
trade goods, but
no
not
idea.
not particularly valuable.
Just
What
putting
you're-
stuff, putting
if
stuff in
Anji
cards.
recognizes like good brocade and like silk and like that kind of stuff, like she can just guide sort of like if you're taking bolts of fabric, those 3 are better than the rest of them,
Oh.
kind of.
Oh, honey, not that one. That one.
Mm,
Yeah,
mhm.
yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
what do you need me to roll for this?
Investigation.
All right. That's a 6.
All right, so you're tapping at stone walls. This place seems to have been some kind of train station long ago. Like the tracks remind you of the Doomtrain. We're coming full circle here.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. Tarant eventually comes back. He says, any luck?
Not yet.
Hmm.
Question.
Yeah.
Can I make a history check on this place? Because now
Sure,
I'm
go for it.
curious.
Go for it.
Come full circle statement.
Mm.
I wish my eyes were better. There we go. No, that's another 6. Goodness, roll 20. What the hell?
Now this seems pretty strange and disorienting to you. Like you haven't heard stories of underground cities in reference to Dayside. Nightside, you might find things like this. Dayside, it seems strange.
Oh.
All right.
Well, I was going to ask, given certain backstory elements, would Sparrow potentially recognize the architecture?
Potentially. Make a history check with advantage.
Okay.
And being from light side, I also wanna like, do I recognize
19 and a 20, so
Oh, geez.
21 total. That was like nat 20 on one of those.
Yeah, Amanda, Anji can also make a history check. Just a straight history check.
okay. It is 11, not as good as Sparrow.
Okay. So, Anji, you have heard stories about a city underground that the Dayside is built over. You never really gave them much credence, but that would seem to match up with where you are. Okay, Sparrow or Allie, what do you want to tell us?
Oh dear.
Just assume that you majorly succeeded.
Yeah. So Greymantle, as a city, is built on top of the ruins of a much older city, and the area we're in is called the Warrens, which is a area that has reflections on both sides. Sparrow has been in the other version of this place. And she is now looking around and recognizing the architecture and looking very like she already looks pale. She's looking much more pale and much more agitated than she was previously. Very much in the come on, we need to get out of here.
No arguments here.
Soon.
Yeah, Sparrow,
Immediately.
you start seeing familiar patterns in the architecture. The rocks start to resemble from different angles other things like people or beasts or doors. Like from where you're standing, if you move slightly to the right, you can see like a rocky outcropping looks a little bit different against another rock. and it seems to be telling some kind of story or containing some kind of message.
Good. Great.
Oriana touches your arm and she's like, what's wrong?
Nothing. We need to get out of here quickly.
Okay, I believe you.
Well, you're in luck. Finished loading up.
All right, how
Victor-
do we get these started? Let's just give it a mighty shove, or
There's some kind of magical device that makes them go.
Sounder's gonna go and root around looking for that.
Yeah. All right. So, Sounder, you pull open the drawers of the desk. There's a writing desk and like a ledger, which is smeared with blood. Recent blood. And you pull open the drawers and you find these hemispherical stones, which are quasi-magical items. And if you activate one, it will cause the cart that it's attached to start moving. You've seen those in action before. Never handled one exactly, but you've seen them used before. They're very similar to, in terms of power, they're very similar to the float stone that Oriana has. Common magic items. And you find 4 of them
All right. So
to
what you're
match
gonna
the 4
do
cards.
is you're gonna put this piece here, and she's gonna pretty much walk everybody through, each of these carts.
Yeah, there's like
No.
a circular indentation built into each of the carts where the thing is supposed to go.
And you put a little bit of magic through, and it starts.
All right, so you put it on the front cart.
Yep.
The one Anji's in.
Yep.
Okay, you put it in there. It starts glowing faintly, and then you just kind of little bit of magic, and the cart takes off
tally ho!
pretty fast. Like it picks up speed very quickly.
She tries to very quickly give the instructions of when you want to stop it or slow down.
All right, Anji, make a perception check, please.
Okay.
The realization after having started it of
That's fine.
I actually thought
All
these were all
fine
connected
here.
to each other, so the fact
They
that the
are
front card
not.
is not connected to anything else.
Oh, hallelujah, 22.
Okay, you did hear the instructions about how to slow it down, which is that you just tap it again, and that
Okay.
every time you tap it, it decreases the magical charge, which makes it go slower.
Okay, yeah, we're not slowing it down. This is like
All right.
we're
You're
riding Expedition Everest
sailing
all
through.
the way back. Yeah, no.
Who takes the next card?
I guess Sparrow will jump in that one, and
Okay,
with
Oriana climbs in as
yeah.
well because she kind of like huddles next to Sparrow.
Hold on tight.
I'm just feeling a little bit vulnerable right now. We're never going to talk about this again. So the camera takes off. All right. Torrent looks over at Sounder.
You?
I'll take the last one.
No,
What? You don't trust me?
After you.
All right. Fair enough. You always are the most level-headed one. He hops in the cart, puts the thing in, channels some of his shadow magic into it. And those are his seeker skills that you're vaguely familiar with. The stories of the seekers were basically like shadow wizards. And he was briefly in training to be a seeker and then left to become a thief, which is totally not the plot of the Thief video games. Anyway, he goes zooming off down the track. Okay, leaving Sounder alone in the room with the 4th cart.
She definitely hops in that.
Mhm.
She's on the one hand, she's got this bad vibe about this place. She, can't shake the feeling that there's something lurking, but like she's not gonna poke around on her own to find out. So yeah, hops in, sets it off.
Okay. So you channel some magic into the thing. And the cart shudders, but doesn't go anywhere.
Poor son. That's all she has to say about that.
And as you're tapping the thing again, and the wheels start spinning like against the track, something unfolds itself from beneath the track. Like it looked like tree or roots of a tree, but now that you have disturbed it, it looks more like an insect. And it starts clambering out from under the track, putting its hands reach up, has more than 5 fingers, onto the rock. It starts pulling itself out. It has more than 2 hands too.
Question: does it look anything even slightly similar to Lord Robelard's little weird, creepy statue bugs?
Oh yes.
Oh no.
It does. That's a really good call. A really good memory. Good memory for it. Well done. Okay. It does. You think that, okay, it is blocking the track, like its body, which looks like spindly and weak, is on the track holding the cart. You're not sure exactly how it's holding it because it doesn't seem strong enough. So another of its limbs emerges, and you see that at the end of each of its finger-like stalks is an eye, and the eyes start looking toward you.
Oh no.
I will give you a minute to consider. Okay, so Anji, you're speeding along. At first, it's very cramped, a very narrow, dark tunnel. Eve is kind of like softly snoring, leaning up against you.
Of course she'd sleep through this.
And then it opens up, and you are in a cavern lit with red light that bounces off the walls.
That's not ominous at all, is it?
Yeah, below you is something red and hot. Like you can feel the heat rising up around you. You're a tiefling, no problem, right? Eve kind of coughs in her sleep. And you can hear the sound of picks and hammers below you. Somewhere down far below you. You're on an elevated track. There's something down there. Do you want to do anything?
Like duck and like hide and just like
Okay.
no.
You duck and kind of wrap your arms around Eve just to make sure that she stays secure in the cart.
We shall cower as one.
All right. And the red just fades away, and you're back into peaceful darkness again. Sparrow, the same thing happens to you. You find this cave with heat rising and red light reflecting off the walls. You hear the sounds of what sounds like picks and hammers in the deep.
Very strange. I think
It
Sparrow
is really
more...
hard on you, on your lungs, and I'm going to need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay. Yeah, I think the heat is a thing, but I know that the red light is probably... That's a 12. A red light is probably what's getting to her more, at least psychologically.
Right? Yeah, so that the haze and miasma of the air is it makes you cough, and you fight your way through it. Partly because you're just a little freaked out by this experience. Like it reminds you of something.
Oh yeah, no, I know what it reminds me.
Heart starts racing. Oriana's like, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We'll be all right.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Ah, Queen of Hell, duck. And she pulls you down just as the cart passes under a low hanging rock, and then you're back into peaceful darkness. Are you
Right.
okay? What happened?
Sorry, just that place reminded me of something for a moment.
Not a good memory, huh?
The furthest thing from.
She holds your hand tightly.
Well, we can talk about it later.
Good. I don't want to talk about it now. I don't want to talk about this now either, or later. Not going to talk about it, just going to do it. Okay.
Simple as.
Sounder. The eldritch abomination from beyond reality unfolds itself before you. And you see that several of its appendages start merging together and become a many-fanged mouth.
Oh, filthy. Casts mage armor on herself.
Okay. What does your mage armor look like when you cast it on yourself?
As with most things Sounder owns, it really looks like it was cobbled together from scrounged bits and pieces. It's just one bit of it looks like it could have been leather armor of like a almost Roman style, and then another piece looks like it might have been like very poorly made fur from some other location. It's just cobbled together cloth and leather.
So I want to suggest that when you cast the spell, that's exactly what happens, but the like organic components are like big and bulky. Like your armor's made of magic, okay? So it's like outlined, hard light essentially. But like the hide armor has a bare head hanging off your shoulder.
What in the world?
Like your internal wildness has kind of affected your magic in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the creature, we almost forgot about the eldritch horror that's there. Anyway, it's gonna take a swing at you. Oh, it's gonna be a 20 to hit.
I'm gonna cast my reaction silvery barbs on him.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah. Reroll that d20.
Yeah, this is how it goes. Okay, well, I got a 23 that time. So I think it's still gonna hit you.
It's fine.
This is fine.
Barbs. Oof. Okay, it does 13 points of damage to you.
Youch.
Like just
okay.
Like it touches you and it starts draining your vitality and your very reality into itself.
And you said how many points?
13.
Okay.
Well,
you feel as much as hear this rumble in the back of your mind. The beast.
Man, fuck it.
Unleash the beast. Oh,
And
there
that's
we
the
go.
one.
There's our one.
It was a good time. It's a good time.
Yeah.
So for my action,
Uh-huh.
I would like to cast Magic Missile at 2nd level
Okay.
at this creature. But for my bonus action, I would like to attempt shifting.
Okay.
I don't know how that's going to go, but first let's resolve the Magic Missile.
What? Okay, sure. Go ahead and roll me some damages. I believe a second level magic missile spell would conjure 4 bolts of force. Sound right?
Yep. So that should be, oh, nice. Max damage on 2 of them. It's for a 10 plus 3 plus 4 is 17.
Oh, okay.
17 of force.
So those bolts of force slam into the thing. Pieces of it break off, and the bolts produce like these holes in it, as though your view had just warped, and now there's like this hole, and those holes remain in the thing. Even some of their body is like skewed around the hole away from the rest of their body. It's visually very strange.
Very trippy to look at. Going to
Mm,
attempt to shift though, because
okay.
I'm at 3 HP and shifting makes me feel better.
Okay, what shifter thing are you attempting to do?
As a bonus action, you can shift and assume a more bestial form, gaining 4
Okay.
temporary hit points.
Okay.
Transformation lasts for a minute until you die or until you revert using another bonus action.
Okay.
And yeah. While
What
shifted,
kind-
I have
What kind of bestial form do you want to?
she's going for her standard, more, piggish form, but like
Mhm.
if it doesn't work out that way, it doesn't work out that way. And we'll see what happens.
Make a charisma saving throw.
Unleash the beast.
Oh good, that's a 20. Nat 20.
Okay. Yeah, sure enough, you turn into your boar-like form. You gain the benefits of your shifting.
All right.
Um, the creature seems to have been repelled slightly by your magic missiles, but it's still blocking the cart. You hear in your mind, not with your ears, words to the effect of sleep, sleep, do not resist, sleep, find peace, peace in us.
Look, I know I prefer a good infestation spell, probably a little more than I should, but I am not joining some hive mind.
Okay. Do you want to take another action? Because it's
If I can,
basically
yeah.
you one-on-one with this monster now, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Okay. Not cool because I am
Oh,
not.
just
I'm
for
not tough.
me.
I'm not tough at all. Does this creature count as a medium creature or smaller?
It's a medium-sized creature.
Oh, this is probably not going to go very well, but I'm going to make the attempt to use. No, I'm gonna another magic missile at 2nd level again, which is probably not the best idea, but doing it anyway. So
Okay.
Then
So you
16
fire off-
total damage.
Fire
And
off
then
more
I'm going
magic
to
missiles.
use one of my gutter mage features to
Okay.
bonus cast a cantrip.
Okay.
And that cantrip is going to be Gust.
Okay.
I don't know if that dumped that in chat. It did not. I just wanted to show the. Wow, that failed badly. Did that show it? Good. There we go. I'm trying to push this thing 5 feet away from the track.
Okay. Let me just.
Needs to make a strength save, so
All right,
I
here we go.
think it'll probably succeed, but it's worth a shot.
What's
Never
the
know.
DC for the save?
Oh, 1 second. What is my DC? 13. Oof, that's not good at all.
It rolled a natural 1 on its save. All right, yes. It was because you had blasted it with magic missiles, so it was a bit precarious because it's wounded,
Yeah.
and so it had disadvantage on the save. It rolled a 1 with its second one. So you conjure up this gust of wind using all of your gutter mage training and shove it aside, and suddenly the track is free. You go zooming off, screeching and sending up sparks because that cart is not supposed to just roll in place for several rounds.
Yeah.
And you're pretty sure that you are tearing up and destroying the track behind you. You can hear nails and rivets popping out and shattering into the stone, and it's shaking and bobbling as you're going through. At
Perfect.
first, it's a very tight, dark corridor that you're going through, and then you come out into a slightly larger, more open area. You are on a raised track at the top of this area, which is lit by bouncing red light. It's hot, and like the air is foul in some way. I'm gonna need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
That's a 3.
Okay. You are poisoned by breathing this air. Poisoned basically gives you disadvantage on your checks. And you're coughing. Make a perception check, which is going to have disadvantage because you are poisoned.
Yep. Just hacking and wheezing.
The track is bursting and falling behind you.
Yeah, that's a 6. Just gonna
Uh-huh.
try and like slow this thing down just slightly, because maybe
Okay,
that'll stop it from tearing up the track so much.
You reach out, you slow it down slightly, and then the low-hanging rock just slams right into your head.
Ow.
And
Oh.
you take 3 points of damage.
Okay, good thing I have some temporary HP.
It could have been a lot worse.
Could have been so much worse.
And then you're back into a dark, cramped tunnel. Now the track, slowing down the cart does not appear to have stopped the damage to the track. In fact, the damage is just approaching you more quickly now. You see that not only is the track starting to disintegrate behind you, but the tunnel is starting to shake and rocks are starting to fall, as though the tunnel is caving in under the strain of the cart.
You might want to speed back up.
Yeah. Gonna make the attempt to do that.
All right. In order to okay, so this hasn't come up yet, but with your understanding of the mechanics of this kind of thing, you're pretty sure that channeling more magic into the thing will make it move the cart faster. What spell slot would you like to channel into the device?
I would like to start with a cantrip to see how much it speeds up.
Okay, the cantrip is what you were using before.
Okay.
If you wanted to go faster, you need a higher level slot.
Okay. So let's go with a first level, because I don't. Oh, I have
Great.
1 second level left.
You don't have to cast a particular spell, just you spend a spell slot into it. Okay.
Okay.
The thing accelerates dramatically. You just it's leaving little flames on the track behind you. The tunnel definitely collapses behind you, and you come skidding out the other side into the same experience that you all have. I was waiting for you to get there so that I could describe this to everybody. So you go through the border, the gray, as it were, but it's underground. It's different. The world flows around you, liquid-like you're going through mud. It's simultaneously open air and solid rock. You cannot breathe. Your chest feels heavy. Your eyes are stinging. Your skin is prickling. Normally, these cards don't take people. Normally, they take goods. This is not necessarily good for people who are going in these cards. So what I'm going to need each of you to do is make a Constitution saving throw.
That's a 7 from me.
Okay.
It's a nat 1 for
11.
me.
I got an 11.
Sounder. Sounder, no.
Okay. Let's see. Turan and Oriana are both okay. All right. So it sounds like all three of you did not succeed. You got an 11, 12? Is that-
11.
Okay.
11.
Yeah, that's not a success. All right.
Yeah,
You
that's-
each take 10 necrotic damage.
Hey, I take 5 necrotic damage. Thank you.
Hey, congrats.
That's not fair. I mean, it is, but
I have resistance.
you
Yeah.
do.
Yes,
I mean,
so-
the others took 5 necrotic damage because they made their saves. Sounder, I think this renders you unconscious.
He
Yes.
does. Sounder
Right.
gives out this absolutely awful squeal from
Yeah.
the pain.
In a sense, you're all next to each other. Like your carts are lined up in a perfect little row, all 4 of you adjacent to each other. You can see each other when you wave. Like people see your wave. Even though you took off at different times and at different speeds. And then the sheer wrongness of this balance point hits you, and it's like your body's melting. Like Sounder, you feel like everything's just unraveling, and you just collapse in your cart. And then you're through it, and you're just coasting through this dark, cold tunnel, like the end of a Disneyland ride. And then you come up to the end in another cave, surrounded by people wearing sashes from the Carter's Guild. And Anji and Eve are ducked down in their cart. Sparrow, you and Oriana take up a little bit more room, so you can't really like totally hide in your cart. So they see you. You look nothing like anybody in the Carter Guild. In fact, one of you looks like a member of Hellfire. So they point crossbows at you.
Let's not be hasty.
Tarant shows up behind you. He's obviously like his head hurts. He's looking at his hands like he can't really quite believe that they're still there. And he's like, "Oh, yes." And he shows off the sash. And he says, "Ah, yes, I am." He's saying something to them. Your ears are still ringing, and it feels hollow. Yes, Tarant, high charisma character that he is. Anyway,
I'm
and
high
then
charisma.
the last cart shows up. You don't see Sounder.
Oh dear.
Oh,
I mean,
As
you see the goods that were in the cart.
as Tarant starts talking, I'm only guessing that he's here to like cover us because that was the plan.
Mhm.
So I am going to do the rich white girl thing. I mean, I'm pink, but you know what I'm talking about. Where
Rich pink girl. Mhm.
I clamber out of the cart and I'm just like so helpless and forlorn and oh, everyone here is a hero. I'm so relieved, like, and just make a big production of like the
Make a
celebrity
persuasion
has
check.
just been rescued. Okay. Hey, something I actually have some like actual
This isn't
skill
really
in.
deception because it's kind of true.
I mean,
like I'm not lying,
like,
right?
well, and if necessary, Sparrow will hop out and try to assist and basically explain that like bad things have been happened over on light side, and we just barely got out of there.
26.
Or
Oh,
day side, I should say.
26.
Cool.
Don't even need my
So,
help.
yes. Number one, Anji did not need Sparrow's help. Number two, they think Sparrow is really creepy looking.
Fair.
But with, I mean, she is. And
She's pretty. She's
That's
just
true.
creepy.
yes, it's true. She's pretty in a very goth sort of way.
Yeah, beautiful but creepy.
Yes, and Oriana looks like a member of the Hellfire Mafia. Anyway, but Anji comes in clutch and convinces them to pay attention to her. And do you tell them about the zombie infestation? And
I do not think I have the presence of mind to like tell them about the zombie infestation, only that like we were under attack and we had to get away and light side is dreadful and
if at all possible, I think I would try to hop in at that point and be like, zombies. Like explain the zombies.
You see that your carts are not the only carts that showed up. There were other carts that had arrived before you, and one of them had a zombie in it. Like two zombies, technically.
But like the Carters took care of the zombies.
Well, yes, they
now
feathered it with crossbow bolts.
Okay.
But there was a member of the Carters Guild who tried to escape using one of these carts, and a zombie clambered into the cart with him, and well, the result is two feathered zombies.
Okay.
So yes, they understand, and they say, "Oh, you poor beautiful lady, please come. Take this cloak, take this wine. Would you like some chocolates?"
Oh, absolutely.
Sparrow just
Thank
like
you
looking
so
around
much.
like, what?
And a bit of chocolate for the child as well, perhaps.
Oh, you have a child with you. Eve wakes up. She's like, what? Oh, chocolate. Anyway, Oriana
Care for
like
my young charge.
Oriana like nudges Sparrow and says, "Well, they're not pointing crossbows at us anymore."
No, they're not. Well, at least
Tarant's looking around. He's like, "Oh crap." And he hops out of the cart and he runs back to the fourth cart. He starts pulling Sounder out. Sounder is like,
super limp.
I'm gonna need Sounder to make a death saving throw, please.
Yeah.
At the very least, it wasn't the low-hanging rock that took you.
No. Oh, come on. Just roll the thing.
Do you see how I set that up twice? What
That's a 3.
All right.
First
So
failure.
that's one failure. Okay. Tron says, "Hey, somebody with healing. Hey, stop listening to her. Hey." He can't get anyone's attention.
Could he get my attention? Like, would I like
I don't
be able
know.
to
Would
hear
you?
him?
You're
I
in
mean,
your element.
I
I
am,
will-
and I've got a mouthful of chocolate and a goblet full of wine. Like, life could be worse at this moment.
I will straight up grab somebody. Like, I will be like, "Hey, our friend is injured. We need some help."
Oh, yeah. You grabbed some member of the Carter Guild. He's
Yeah.
like, well, yeah, you came in the carts through the veil. I don't know why you would. What would possess you? Well, I suppose the zombies. Okay, fine.
Beggars can't be choosers.
He goes over to Sounder. Sounder, make another death save, please.
It was this or the rift.
That's a 14.
Okay, so that's one success. All right, he goes over to Sounder and he looks at Sounder's teeth, which are very sharp because, shifter.
Mhm.
And he goes,
Wonderful little baby tusks.
He pulls out a potion and just kind of like forces it into Sounder's mouth. And Sounder, you wake back up with 10 hit points.
Oh.
You're gonna have to pay for that, by the way.
How much?
Well, these are 50 gold pieces.
Sparrow will, pull out the, like, she's got like money, so she'll pull the coins out from among the little the marks and just hand them over. Here.
Oh yeah, script works. He counts it. Tron's like, well, all right, at least we're all back.
Is there a quick way to get back to the surface?
And the Carters say, well, there's the lift over there.
That'll do. Thank you.
Thank you.
We do appreciate your hospitality.
I mean, technically you're not a member of the guild though, so I'm gonna have to charge you a fee.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, bloody hell. How
What would it-
much?
And I think that's a good place to close on the grin of capitalism. As the Daughters of Darkness have narrowly, by the skin of their teeth, got back to Nightside in Greymantle. The zombie plague may have ended in Dayside for the moment, but many of those coffins that fell off the Doomtrain fell off into Nightside. And there is much still to be done. But
And there's someone running around who stole my face.
that's
Yeah.
right.
I think at that capitalistic grin, Sparrow's just going to go, I should have taken the rift.
So that is all the time we have for this season of Greymantle. We will be back at some point in the future because I thought this game was really fun, and I'd like to keep playing it. And thank you all for joining us on this adventure. There will be more from the Daughters of Darkness, who have some things to do and some more hazards to find themselves in. I have been Eric Scott to be the DM of this campaign. Thank you to all of my wonderful players. Thanks also to Jen, who couldn't make it today because she had other engagements and couldn't and wanted to be with you all. She sends her best. Thank you so much for playing. Thank you to our audience for watching. We'll be back. Take it away, Allie.
Hi, everybody. I am Alexandra Pitchford. Thank you again for joining us. I am a writer, game designer, and TTRPG streamer, and one of the co-creators of Greymantle with Eric over there. Yeah, in the meantime, if you want some Greymantle goodness, definitely check out the short story that I wrote.
Hey,
the
look at
Sun
that.
Spear, the Sun Spear in this anthology here, Never Too Old to Save the World. Has a little bit of a Sparrow cameo. It's got some fun stuff going on, and there is more Greymantle to come.
Excellent. Amanda?
Yeah, hi, once again, my name is Amanda Cherry. I'm the author of contemporary and historical urban fantasy, TTRPGs, and the occasional award-winning screenplay. You can find me online at Manda the Ginger. That is Twitter, TikTok, and Blue Sky. This weekend, you can find me online at the Right Hive Conference, noon on Sunday. We'll be doing a reading. Eric and I want to meet some magical, murderous women of our creation. I think you would.
She's wearing a green dress. That's why it looks like that. Okay.
She's wearing a green dress. The other one's wearing purple and black, and they just because two people are perfect for each other doesn't mean they're actually good for each other. Just keep that in mind. Yeah, I've had a blast here this season. I still am pinching myself that I got invited to do this. I've wanted to be part of a actual play game for a very, very long time, and having a ball, and cannot wait to see what happens next season. But I mean, I'm gonna have to.
Honestly, I don't want the season to be over, but here we are. Hi, I'm Forda. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Ko-fi at FordaVare, Tumblr, and Insta at LexArts, 2 X's. I illustrate, I play games with lovely people such as these, and next you will find me on Polished Cryptids channel in like 5 hours.
Yeah. That's the spirit.
Right now.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody. And until we see you next time, keep to the shadows. They're safer than the light.